Hello, and welcome to Math Lessons with Linda. Today's topic is the average rate of change, and this is a review topic for students in Algebra 2 for their final exam at the end of the year. Let's read this word problem together. You can pause the video if you'd like to write it down to have as reference. Here we go. The value of Layla's investment was $1,140 on January 1st. On the same date, 3 years later, the investment was worth $1,824. What was the monthly average rate of change? So, a couple of things to think of in a problem like this. First of all, this is what jumps out at me first. The way in which the time is being presented first tells me that 3 years have gone by. That's important. But the question actually asks me to find the monthly average rate of change. So I need to convert to make the units of time match up. So since I'm asked to find the monthly average rate of change, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 years and I'm going to convert that into what I need, which is months. So we know that 1 year has 12 months. So 3 years would be 36 months. The next thing I need to do is to find an average rate of change. I'm really finding the slope of a line that is the average between the start point and the end point. So I need to set up what my 2 points are going to be. So the first thing is I'm starting at a certain time, which January 1st, we don't know the year, but that's kind of my time 0. So my first X value is going to be at time 0. And on time 0, that is when my value of the investment, or Layla's value, is $1,140. So that's the start point. The end point is 3 years later, which we now know has to be in terms of months. So my X value is going to be 36 months, and my end is what the value of the investment is, $1,824. So to calculate the average rate of change, I'm going to use the slope formula that we all know from Algebra 1, which is the change in the Y values over the change in the X values. So I'm going to do the largest minus the smallest, so I don't have any negatives. So 1,824 minus 1,140 divided by 36 minus 0. So when I subtract my numerator, I get 684, and my denominator will just stay 36. And all I have left to do is divide. 684 divided by 36 will give me 19. What is the 19? A lot of times you have to say what your answer represents, interpret your answer. So what my 19 means is the average monthly, and I'm going to abbreviate, rate of change is $19 for this investment. Now, this would be a different problem if instead of saying the monthly average rate of change, they said annual or yearly. Because then what would happen is I would keep my original 3 years. My X for this would be 3. And so I'd get a very different answer because they would be asking me to find something for a year rather than for a month. So just make sure you're paying attention to the wording and that you're answering the question that has been asked of you. So that's an example of how you can find the average rate of change.